strangest stream of all time high. So, as of right now, I'm going to be streaming this stream as of for today. This is going to be the last stream of Washington, and then I'll be going back to San Francisco as of tomorrow. So, I'm just gonna relax for a bit, enjoy my time here, and then we're gonna have a good time for this very last stream. So, and this will be the last stream of Washington too. So as of tomorrow, I'm gonna be like relaxing a bit, and then I'll be like heading back on my flight around 9 o'clock p.m. to 11. So it's like that's like 2 hours. But as that being said, uh, hello, good morning, and how is everyone doing? How is everyone doing? Yesterday's stream was insane. I really enjoyed that party. That party was so fun. It was great. It was such fun. I enjoyed it. Loop Puff was there, so I was glad. I got to see everyone was there. It was fun. Um, I had a blast yesterday, so it was great. I had a good time, and I'm glad you guys came by with me and enjoyed the stream too. So that was actually the most greatest time ever. I've had fun. I've got fun. That was actually the most greatest fun I've ever did. And then as of right now, we're gonna go to a couple of panels, and then pretty much I'm going to join this very last tournament. It's gonna be the Super Smash Brothers tournament. I'm probably gonna lose a lot, so I'm not very sure what these controls are gonna be. I think the next one is gonna start around 12 o'clock, so I'm gonna be able. I hope I'll be able to go and enjoy this time, and then once this time is done, then I'll be relaxing a bit. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow I'll start streaming for this particular stream. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it depends on if anyone is actually online or anyone's there or anyone whatever. But anyway, as that being said, that's enough of me. This is gonna be the last of the stream as of today, so we're gonna get going now. So we're gonna take a look at these last few streams that are actually happening, and yeah. As that being said, let's go and let's just enjoy this time. And I hope I don't lose anything. Okay. Oh shit. And so, as you see, I have the Pinkie Pie mask now, and then I have the Main 5 shirt. So, yeah, I like this shirt. This shirt is actually pretty nice. We're back. Disconnected now.
Reading and walking.
Alright.
Spread your wings, neon Pegasus, and go flying through the night. They can take your glitter, but they can't take away your sparkle. And the thousand robot octopus will try to grab your golden reins. But your wings are strong from the battle over Cupcake Mountain. Never again to be lonely. Never again to be without a home. Never to bow to the Golden King's throne. Never again, never again, never again to be put down by the walls of Pandora like a silver lit mouse soaring over it all high up in the clouds. Never again, never again. I saw you defeating the Gummy King's powered armada in the darkness of space. I knew you were no ordinary Pegasus. Neon Pegasus and go climbing through the stars. Out there with your dreams, your sparkly dreams. And the genetically modified salamander with a face just like George Clooney can't suck you down with the rockabilly worm from Spaceland. Never again to be lonely. Never again to be without a home. Never to bow to the Gummy King's throne. Never again, never again.
Hello, everybody. Front of house, whenever they have time, we could get a Q&A mic set up in the middle here as well. Thank you.
Welcome, Bronii friends. Welcome. You ready to go? All right. Welcome, everybody, to Bronii History, Bronii Future. This is a panel that Simo and I we put together. It's going to be kind of a take on our previous panel, Bronii Fandom History. But I guess before we go more into this, allow us to introduce ourselves. It's our fantastic chair.
Welcome.
Hello, my name is Simil. I'm the chair for EVERFREE Northwest 2022. Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Round of applause. He worked really hard, right? All right, you guys might know me, Chocolate Pony. I'm also bashed the pinata recently, so if you guys saw a pinata walking around, that was me. I'm also in the vendor hall, so come check me out. I'm selling flags and stuff. So thank you for coming. So we used to do a podcast together. Some of you might know. In fact, we had some people coming up to ask us if we will ever finish this podcast. We still haven't put it on the back burner, but we do like chatting a lot. We just like randomly riffing on things, and we always say afterwards, hey, this should be a podcast, and I wish we recorded it. So this panel we're going to look at the breakdown of how I kind of categorize the past history of the Bronii fandom from specifically the Generation 4 period. And then we're going to end the last part with a discussion of what we think the future will lead, especially in the age of G5. And we're going to try to leave the last 15, 20 minutes open to questions and answers from all of you. So this is a previous panel that we did, and this is kind of how I initially broke down fandom.
Yeah, so the thing I always like to do at the beginning of this panel is everybody put your hands up, put one hand up, put them up. Some of you aren't doing it, there you go. All right, now you're gonna put your hand down when I say the year that you joined the fandom, or first started coming to cons, or first started watching the show, all right? So this year, 2022, 2021, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, here we go, we're getting the meeting now, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, there we go, we had like 2 or 3 ultra OGs there. Really interesting to see, we got a nice spread here, and so it sounds like a lot of you have been around for a good time, and maybe some of this will be for you.
Yeah. So we're going to quickly just break down some of my categorizations of how I kind of, specifically for my convention history book, how I was breaking down the Bronii fandom, very complex topic into short little bite-sized pieces. But we probably all remember the beginning, so I'm not going to go too much into details about this, but we come from a period right after what we call the TV cartoon renaissance. This is when Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney were at its height with cartoon shows, Powerpuff Girls, shows like that. We kind of hit a low period when we started to see a lot of Family Guy clones and knockoffs, a lot of shows similar to Johnny Test. It's a period I like to retroactively call the animation recession. Then we kind of come to a brand new period when Adventure Time regular show and Lauren Faust's reboot of My Little Pony occurred around the same period, 2010. And how I guess the fandom kind of formed was specifically on 4chan, where we had a lot of fans, specifically, we think of 4chan as kind of a raunchy place now, but you have to remember that it was just a board for people to talk about specific fandoms, specifically on the cartoon board. There were a lot of millennial college students who were fans of animators from this Renaissance period, like Lauren Faust. Lauren Faust worked on some fantastic works and movies: Iron Giant, Cats Don't Dance, Powerpuff Girls, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. So of course, when there was news that Lauren Faust was going to make a brand new show, a reboot of My Little Pony, it piqued the curiosity of a lot of people. It was criticized kind of quickly by some people, and a lot of the millennials on these boards like 4chan basically kind of rushed to defend her, saying, hey, let's give her a chance, let's watch this first episode and see how it goes.
Yeah, the very first thing, this was really one specific article, and do you remember the exact title? It was The End of Creator-Driven Media, or something.
Ironic, it was the opposite.
What was the publisher? What platform was it? It was like...
Cartoon Brew.
Yeah, so article goes out, this person, basically, the show had just dropped, and this person was critiquing this as basically, this is a half-hour-long commercial for toys. Where is the creativity? Where's the true narrative? Where's the story? And so on places like 4chan, this is kind of the recorded history of how the fandom came about. Is someone posted this, and then they decided, well, let's look into this. Is it actually any good or not? And they decided, actually, this is very good. And yeah, it
kind of became our default mascot because Dirt Bike Pony in the background was kind of embraced by the fandom as kind of like our mascot. And even within 4chan, that's when the term Bronii was actually coined.
That's true. This is the post here.
You can say,
thanks a lot, Pony Bro. And the one, Pony Bro, more like Bronii, am I right? So wherever anonymous number 98658 is today, you are a legend.
I also like the little trivia page of what fans are called, and we also have man culters, mirrormen, hoofers. These are fantastic.
They're really a little clunky.
Yeah,
my first choice.
But anyways, this period, because it kind of started online, it made sense that online media would kind of became popular and prominent. So this is where we really get the rise of a lot of fan art and fan fiction. And this is where I would say, so each period I break down, I kind of would like to talk about a specific content creator that basically was I guess the term would be horse famous of that period. And you kind of see how each area was kind of defined by who was the popular content creators. And because this was before we really started to have Bronii conventions, online, everyone gathered online. So online media, fan fiction, fan art, memes, GIFs were going to be the most popular. And during this period, it was a sense of trying to hide that you love Bronies in an unironic sense. So there was an idea of trying to make fun of liking My Little Pony as some type of ironic meme subculture.
Yeah.
And also the idea of, aside from that, mashing up dark ideas with My Little Pony, for example. So Fall Equestria, as we saw, is kind of a mashup of something that should not be with the cutesy My Little Pony. We had a lot of parodies like the Watchmen ponies, which is taking two ideas that should be polar opposites and kind of mashing them together.
In some ways, it's almost like a guarded sort of masculinity that says that because we're watching this show that is nominally meant for little girls, we have to do something with it that shows that it's not just that, we're also subverting it in some way.
We're subverting your expectations. Hey, yeah, we like pony. It's just, it's a fun meme.
You know, it's funny. It's just a meme, bro.
So, of course, it would make sense that the places where people would gather would eventually be on online news sites. So, of course, Equestria Daily was kind of the early version of that. And you have to remember one of the closest comparisons we compare the Bronii fandom to is the furry fandom. In the furry fandom, they meet a lot through conventions and online.
I don't know how they're similar at all. What are you talking about?
Yeah, of course, yeah, we're not furries. We're not dyke furries. But in the
we aren't.
Yes. In the furry fandom, I guess Uncle Kage is kind of like the de facto, spokesperson for the furry fandom. And we had this period in the Bronii community where everyone was trying to be the kind of the de facto...
The face of the fandom.
Yeah. So Feastville with Equestria Daily was kind of the first on that train. And quickly after Equestria Daily became popular because they kind of got the connection of Hasbro, this is where people were meeting, looking at art and stuff. There was a lot of different news sites that tried to basically become the new Equestria Daily. Derby Who's News is an example, EVERFREE Network. And then we start to see the shift from purely being I guess, what's Equestria Daily kind of called? It's like the collection.
It's a news blog.
It's a news blog.
Yeah.
To being more of a news network with audio and visual. And then this is where you get the rise of Bronii radio stations, Ponyville Live, Celestia Radio, EVERFREE Network. And this is...
Which was EVERFREE Radio
yes.
originally. Then they...
Again, it's weird because it has kind of the same abbreviations as this convention.
Yes, well, it's no relation.
Yes. I think that was the confusion for a lot of people.
Some people actually were generally confused about that. No affiliation there.
So of course it would make sense as we start to shift to more audio platforms for the fandom that it would be the podcasters who kind of took the reins of being the next horse fans content creators during this period. And this is where we saw the rise of a lot of Bronii podcasts. Of course, Dusty Cat had his manliest Bronii. The very first podcast most people could trace is Bronieville Live, run by Apple Cider and Chef Sandy. Chef Sandy is one of the co-founders of Nightmare Nights Dallas, and she's actually been heavily involved in the furry fandom for years beforehand. So she brought the style of furry con running to the Bronii con scene. Of course, we have Pegasus Sisters Live. And of course, what do you do when you have podcasts? What do you put in between your podcast shows? You would obviously put musicians. So this is also where we get the rise of Bronii musicians, and Bronii musicians started to becoming really popular during this period.
Oh yes. Many a YouTube video waiting for those to come out.
Yep. So we kind of entered the next period where it was a audio formats, and also we had the rise of TumblrCon. This is the Tumblr Ask Blog period. We have Fisherphone, who's been involved with the TumblrCon during the heyday. So we basically have this shift of people trying to make Ask Blogs. And in fact, I think the Pony Ask Blogs really influenced how other fandoms started to do Ask Blogs. While ponies weren't kind of the first Ask Blogs, the way the Bronii fandom did Ask Blogs. In fact, my mascot Chocolate Pony is based off an Ask Blog, where people would ask questions in the Ask box, and then we would respond with some type of piece of artwork.
Yeah, actually, I mean, just to backtrack slightly, you're saying this about the Tumblr community and the Ask Blog things. I feel also like Bronii specifically had a really big impact on fandom music and the way that it would be distributed. online. It's not as though it was the first thing. There's a concept called filk that some people may be familiar with, which is something that would happen at a lot of, Star Trek conventions, sci-fi conventions back in the day, where people would kind of meet up in these empty panel rooms and play music and write songs about their favorite characters from different shows. And Bronii music is really a continuation of that, but what makes it so interesting is that I feel like I can't really think of very many earlier examples of it finding wider success on like YouTube. Like the way it intersected with YouTube as an emergent platform just kind of allowed it to take off. And I remember, those who have been around a long time will remember how insanely active that community was, where you'd be kind of like looking forward to new songs that all these people are putting out, and they would be all over EQD. Some very famous examples here, obviously. Odyssey's Discord, which then had the very famous remix by the Living Tombstone, and it really kickstarted a lot of careers too.
Yeah.
We've seen Bronii musicians go on to kind of become mainstream in some sense. Living Tombstone has a record deal. We have Black Griffin, who was recently on America's Got Talent, if anyone saw that. So,
No.
really cool stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think I talked about this a bit on my convention history panel, but yeah, like I was saying, you can see the line from folk music to the modern renegade stage, but Bronii music really brought something new to the scene, as we'll see if you guys been to the gala last night, look how impressive the light work, the setup, everything was. Look how fantastic the AV
That's all these
yeah.
guys in the back here.
You know what? Furries like to claim they were the inspiration for a lot of the Bronii stuff, but Bronii, if you look at any furry concert, you could see how they took a lot of the AV crew from the Bronii fandom and import them over, because
all cons have the same AV crew.
yeah,
It's like the same 5 people.
but it's impressive how much Bronii music has played a part in the convention scene, especially. So speaking of conventions, so we kind of get the birth of the first BroniiCon. So I'm going to use the term BroniiCons as a generic term for Gen 4 My Little Pony
Yeah,
convention.
BroniiCon is the Kleenex of pony conventions.
Just
It's
like
the genericized trademark.
like Comic-Con was with that. Ironically, AnimeCon and FurryCon don't have that in their specific fandoms. But when we talk about Hard R BroniiCon, that was specifically created by an individual named Purple Tinker. I do want to give her a lot of credit. I know a lot of people have kind of maligned her and attacked her in recent years, but she did have the vision for creating the first BroniiCon, and we really need to recognize that. Specifically the fact that we've had trans creators, specifically a lot of trans founders of pony conventions, a lot of trans chairs. It shows how inclusive this fandom's birth really is. Like, for some reason, I think Bronies get unfairly attacked for not being as inclusive, but we can see from the birth, especially from the convention scene, we've had one of the most diverse group of founders and forefathers and foremothers within our fandom itself. Specifically, Tinker herself, she was a Trekkie and she was a furry, and she basically took the combination of how Star Trek cons were run and how furry cons were run. So she basically took the actor guest of honor model from the Star Trek cons and paired it with how the dealer's den and paneling tracks were done with the furry cons. But even though BroniiCon kind of planted its flag as the first, there was a race to be the first BroniiCon, as you know.
I mean, so obviously EVERFREE is 10 years old, in case you missed that. But yeah, there were different pockets of activity really in the early fandom, and one of them was over on the East Coast. The Seattle area specifically had a very active MLP community in the early days. We spoke a little bit about that if anyone was here for the EVERFREE history panel that we did yesterday morning. And it's really interesting, I guess, to see the way that those each emerged from existing fandom convention scenes, but also the fact that there were new elements that had to be added. Like you're mentioning here with Purple Tinker, there's a whole lot of influence from
the Trekkies and
influence from Trekkies. Whereas on the West Coast, I know there was a lot of involvement, with local furry groups over here in Seattle, and I know BabsCon had a lot of the sort of San Francisco Bay sci-fi con.
Yeah, so BayCon, I always say in my panels, BabsCon, you can see the direct influence from the sci-fi cons, because the sci-fi cons always had that bulletin board in the hotel lobby where you post the room party signs on, and Babs up to recently was the only con that was doing that, so you can see the direct DNA from the sci-fi cons to BabsCon. Now, EverFree finally has a party floor and the same bulletin board, so EverFree is just picking up and continuing this fantastic tradition.
Yeah, it's nice to have a venue that's good for it. We haven't always had a great layout, but our third floor is pretty nice.
But just quickly covering Unicon happened. We all know what happened with
Nothing
Unicon.
happened there. Moving on.
There. But we had to create a new department called VIPR, and that was something that the Bronies kind of brought onto the scene, which we'll talk about later about the con influences. But basically, Tinker tried to make way for this to avoid this from happening, because while the Star Trek fandom, for example, could pull guests from any single generation, they could pull from the original series all the way to new CBS shows and whatnot, My Little Pony was still actively going. It was within the first and second season when the con started to happen. There's only 6 characters in the show, main 6 characters. There are 4 VAs between them, and we had like 50 PonyCons around the world fighting for the same 4 VAs. It gets a little tricky. So basically, after Unicon, the fandom kind of clamped down. Okay, we're going to isolate these cons to these specific areas. We're going to have emergency contingencies to avoid such things from happening. And not just the Bronii fandom, but every single con around the country, the anime cons, the comic cons, the furry cons, had emergency meetings and started to create their own contingencies to prevent a Unicon from happening like that again.
Yeah, really represented a sort of sea change when it came to how we handle these things. Many people don't know, still to this day, it is the case that conventions like this exist in what is essentially a sort of gray area legally in terms of intellectual property, where at any moment, something like Hasbro could come down and say, no, you don't get to do this kind of thing anymore. So when something like Unicon happens, it's really, really important to take lessons from that and understand that you cannot play fast and loose with this kind of thing.
A perfect example is the Harry Potter fandom. Harry Potter fandom is arguably bigger than the Bronii fandom, yet why don't you see Harry Potter cons anymore? It's because Warner Brothers quickly put down the ban hammer and prevented them from happening. They had their own unique convergent evolution of the Bronii fandom. They had Wizard Rock, they had their Quidditch games, they had very similar things to what we had experienced within our own fan community, yet it's basically dead now. The convention scene for Harry Potter is dead, even though they're arguably a bigger fandom because of how quickly the ban hammer came down on this community.
And Harry Potter is something where you can see similarities to why there would be a con scene that comes around it. I once had a friend ask me he was kind of weirded out by the whole Bronii thing. I'm sure no one has had that experience with anyone they know. He's like, I just don't understand why, way more many people watch SpongeBob than My Little Pony, probably, right? So why aren't there SpongeBob conventions? And I said, first of all, I would go to a SpongeBob convention.
Yes. I want to have a Krabby Patty and a Kelp
Oh, man. Well, this is the SpongeBob panel now.
Yes.
No, but secondly, SpongeBob has very mass appeal, but I think it also takes a sort of quintessence that's hard to put into words to explain why you have a community form around something, and we'll probably get more into that later. So we'll keep going with the history.
So just quickly, I think the audio network period wrapped up. Its height was when they were going to these different cons and streaming them live, because a lot of people couldn't go to these conventions. So streaming these panels and events live was very important for the fandom to kind of grow and experience and unite together. So this is what EverFree Network was doing, along with Celestia Radio, Ponyville Live. We're doing live streams of panels, but when EverFree Network tried to move in and try to take over streaming, that caused some issues. And eventually when the cons were like, hey, we'll take over our own stream, I think that's when the network period ended and the convention era really began. Specifically when BroniiCon said, hey, we don't need you guys anymore, we're going to take over our streaming. And this is where we shift to the next period where we have a domination of conventions. So we didn't have as much conventions as the previous era, but we had stronger, larger conventions during this period. And while we were at convention, new unique stuff would form. So for example, when you're at convention, card games are going to be popular. You go to any con, everyone's playing Cards Against Humanity. So it's natural we would have our own equivalent of Cards Against Humanity formed with Twilight Secret Shipwreck. Of course, we're going to have a lot of memes develop at cons. M.A. Larson became such a big personality at cons that so many memes formed around M.A. Larson. We had a lot of new vendors moving into the space. We're going to talk about Kitty Corral later on, but you had a lot of vendors making an income, like myself, off My Little Pony. I was studying to be a a brain surgeon at Johns Hopkins University, and I started to sell at BroniiCon, which is right next door to me in Baltimore, and I have not went back to med school since, and this has become my full-time job now. I've been able to achieve, being a vending artist as a full-time job. While I don't do PonyCons as much anymore, it was the Bronii fandom that helped me get my start. It was attending these conventions that a lot of people started to get the concept of being horse famous, the idea you could be popular at the cons. So of course you could fill your guest list up with show staff and IDW artists, but the concept of community guests is kind of unique to the Bronii fandom. So science fiction cons and furry cons have the concept of a fan guest of honor. But for us, because not only are we copying that model, we're also copying the list and pages of guests that the Comic Cons and the anime cons do. Our equivalent to that would be the community guests. That's the only way to fill out pages of, headshots of people.
Yeah, I mean, we have a very vibrant and creative community. There's a whole lot of people. It's really interesting the way that, fandom evolves as a culture, and you have folks that you see, familiar faces you'll see at each of these different events. It's kind of an interesting way to recognize those people, I think.
Yes, that's true. And this is the kind of period where not just BroniiCon kind of took over the network, the streaming of their own panels. This is where BroniiCon became really dominant. This is when they broke off from Purple Tinker's original group and was under the reign of Lunar Solace. And the BroniiCon model kind of became influential for how other PonyCons were ran afterwards. And this is also where BroniiCon really hit its height. It's the first con it was the first PonyCon to hit 10,000 attendees. And it did this long before the furry fandom did. So furries like to say Bronies are a subculture of it. But no furry con has hit only one furry con has hit 10K attendance, and it was years after BroniiCon did. But this is where we get the YouTubers as kind of the big personalities, the horse fans personalities, because now that you kind of saw these people on YouTube and the streaming networks, now these become the big personalities at your conventions. You have your Saber Sparks, you have your AC Racemas. This is also where the con-cheers kind of become the personalities. If you guys, again, know about the furry fandom, you have individuals like Uncle Kage running around wearing a lab coat, holding a glass of wine, kind of the big personality, giving his con talk stories. And you had a lot of similar individuals in the Bronii fandom kind of fill that role. You had Josh Dean with BroniiCon, you had Sonia for BabsCon, you had Darkly for TrotCon. You had these big con-cheer personalities who kind of filled in the reins of things. And of course we had that famous Bob's Burgers episode.
Yes.
And this is where the Bronii music scene really exploded. And we kind of, because we move into some more nebulous problems. So once you have the idea, okay, these people can be horse famous, these could be famous personalities, these are people we put on pedestals, the next step is we need to take them down. So I really would say the next stage is kind of more of a drama stage where every single con has con fires. So the con staffers are leaking stuff behind the scenes. All these personalities that you like and praise, all these are actually really bad people. And then you had sites like Horse News and stuff trying to come down and, take down these personalities. Some of them were problematic and properly needed to be taken down. Other time it was just drama for drama's sake.
This is kind of a manifestation of the wider cultural phenomenon of, this is when Me Too was first happening.
This was after the era of sad puppies and rabid puppies with the sci-fi fandom. Vic Pneumonia stuff was popping up in the anime fandom. Cosplay and consent was now becoming, it's not consent, it's becoming really big within the conscience scene. And this is where I think Bronies really stepped up to the plate as well. The Bronii fandom, as we'll talk about later, introduced a lot of elements that really added for a more inclusive environment. But this was also the time we were trying to kind of psychoanalyze ourselves. And we kind of really saw this rise of a bunch of Bronii documentaries and Bronii parodies, Bronii musicals, all trying to make sense of this entire fandom. So, of course, John Delancey and Ashley Ball all had their own separate documentaries kind of covering this.
These are somewhat anachronized, I think, on this slide, but
yes.
So Bronii's a documentary. I remember that one coming out. That was 2012.
Yeah, that was a little older one,
Yeah. Fantastic though. I remember that was really the peak of media attention into the whole thing was around that time. I remember it was on Netflix for a while.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talking about the influences Bronies did within the fan scene, so I'm not going to say the Brony cons were the first to do things like communication tags or gender neutral bathrooms and pronoun ribbons, but on a whole, it was adopted by the Brony fandom first, and it kind of made sense as I'll explain later. But BronyCon was really the first to do the communication tags at the cons, and we saw years later, half a decade later, the furry fandom finally picked that up as well. And like I was saying, a lot of these con founders, these con chairs and staffers were trans individuals themselves, so it would make sense that they were really the first en masse to have gender neutral bathrooms, which I think was really appropriate for the fandom around this time. And like I said, the VIPR model was adopted by other cons around the country.
Realize that it says VERP.
That's a group.
VIP.
Oh, that makes it up. Oh, yeah. Those are VIPR. Viper is the abbreviation.
VERP.
I like VERP better. We're going to call her
Very important relations person.
But it's called the guest relations department. It's called the green room department. Doesn't matter what con you go to. Now we have this equivalent there. And this is where Cutie Corral, one of the vendors of these big fat chibi felt plushies, you guys probably remember them. We're like, hey, the joke is, hey, Cutie Corral needs more places to sell their big fat plushies. So why not just create conventions specifically to sell their plushies? So Cutie Corral started to get into the business of running cons. They started Ponyville Satterfest and Windy City PonyCon. They even bought up MLP MSP. And eventually they got to a point where they were making, they were so successful with the PonyCons and their business, they decided to expand to fursuit making, and they reformed as Lemon Rat Studio. And after realizing, fursuits are making a lot of money, it's like, hey, why not start furry cons? And this is where they formed Corgi Events, and they started to make a lot of furry cons like Denver, Painted Desert Fur Con, Aquatifur, Sin City, Mercon. They even bought up Anime Milwaukee for a period.
Wow.
And it made sense that because this is kind of the repop or Left View Media or Wizard World or Fan Expo of the Brony and furry scene. It made sense that since they started in the pony fandom, they brought over the pronoun ribbons, they brought over the gender neutral bathrooms, they brought over Viper to the furry scene, and now a lot of furry cons that formed afterwards have now adopted a lot of the stuff that Corgi Events and the Brony fandom introduced.
Got about a half hour left.
So we're going to quickly wrap up and get to the discussion portion. But then we get to this twilight era. The BronyCon numbers kind of dipped, and I think the BronyCon period kind of ended. We started to have rumblings of the show being over. 4chan banned MLP, and they brought them back through /MLP boards. The entire joke that the fandom was dying became a very, very big meme, like we were talking about. The Me Too movement, call-out culture was really big around this time. But some of the positives are people who started within the fandom who eventually became big outside of Bronies.
Yes.
One of my good friends, Ashley, she worked on staff for a lot of conventions. She worked under me for BabsCon. I believe she also worked on staff for EVERFREE as well. Of course, she's now known for Huncast. She worked on Has Been Hotel, and she's working on her own series now. Of course, Trish, who was one of the artists for BronyCon, designed some of the best BronyCon art out there, partnered up with IDW artist Tony Fleece, and of course got their own series off the ground, Stray Dogs, which was recently nominated for an Eisner Award, the highest honor in the comic book industry. Of course, we had a bunch of musicians, like we were saying, who eventually made it, broke outside the Brony scene, Mike Their Microphone, Living Tombstone, Eurobeat, all these Silverhound, all these individuals kind of break out into the scene. We had YouTubers who started with ponies. Friendship with Switchcraft, you might not know, was created by Jenny Nicholson and one of her friends, Griffin. And now Jenny Nicholson is now known for doing her own non-Brony stuff. Of course, we have individuals like Saber Sparker, also very big in that sense. And even here at this convention, we have two guests of honors who were just years ago, just fan artists selling in the vendor hall at these cons, and now they have been elevated to becoming guests of honors on the same level as these VIP artists and voice actors. And I think that's really fantastic.
It really is, and it just goes to show the profound impact that this has had in terms of connections people are able to make just within local communities that then lead to career opportunities or opportunities in other places. One of the founders of EVERFREE, again, if anyone was at our panel yesterday morning, he started out, he was working for the convention here, you know, and he got to know a lot of the VIP guests and all that kind of thing, and it was very important to him. This is Royal Code that I'm talking about. Eventually got a job working with, I believe, Nintendo in Redmond, moved around a bit, and then at some point ended up working for Wizards of the Coast. So at the end of the day, he ended up working for Hasbro. Like through connections made, big circle, through connections made in MLP, started working for Hasbro and actually worked on the MLP inspired MTG cards. So full circle there for sure.
And I think we were talking about even last night, a lot of people who were just fresh out of high school who started staffing cons eventually rose their ranks of being department heads, concierge. They're now finding work without even going to college, working events at other big companies just because they had success running conventions in the Bronii fandom for a while. So this was a lot of, like I said, this is now my full-time job. And I got started because of ponies. Even though ponies are not my main thing now, I got started with that. And as we can see, these YouTubers and artists all got their starts from ponies, and it's been very influential for a lot of the period. But of course, all the good things have to come to an end. And I caught this picture at the final BronyCon. It's great. This is Simo, our con chair here. He was Hoofbeats at BronyCon. If you guys didn't know, this is a fantastic picture. But it was coincidental that the final BronyCon and the last episode of MLP basically happened within the same year. This is where the fandom is dying really became really big and real at this point. And yes, a lot of Bronies did jump over to the furry fandom. Like if you go to furry cons now, like half the dealers hall, half the staff are all former Bronies. They brought their style over. But not only was this kind of the end period for the Bronii fandom, a lot of cons kind of also had an end period because of something we now know as COVID-19 pandemic. The quarantine kind of shifted things over. Now,
Perfect storm, really. There were many different factors, actually, just from the perspective, real quick, of running cons, trying to project like expected attendance and just what will the vibe of the convention be? What is the health of the fandom in this sense? COVID really threw a wrench into that because already there was this sort of fog of war over how things would go the next year because of the show ending, because of BronyCon ending. We kind of thought, okay, the big one is over. Clearly, there's still interest that people want to go to these events because they went over 10K in the final year again. And maybe the other conventions, now that BronyCon is gone, will get a little bump in attendance because a lot of people might only be able to afford to go to one convention a year. And they're gonna choose the last BronyCon, right? If that's the final one, but now that that's over, might see a bump elsewhere. Show is ending, how will that affect things? Then COVID comes in and it's like, we have no idea what's gonna happen. And we started seeing cons having to cancel, unfortunately, just with the state of the world at that time. And we're very fortunate that we're able to come back at this point.
Yeah, so as some of you guys might know, if you guys, again, we talk about the furries a bit. Furries are very tech savvy. The joke is a plane full of furries heading to a convention is dangerous because if that plane crashes, there goes the entire American IT.
Yeah, all of the IT departments. Yeah.
So while people joke that, furries are very tech savvy, they are still a generation older than the Bronii fandom. So of course, the most modern, up-to-date, tech-savvy people will be the Bronies. And it made sense that when the pandemic happened, the first online cons came from the Bronii fandom. And it made sense because years even before the concept of online cons are really a thing, the Bronii fandom was already doing a lot of fun cons for fun. So for example, from the Tumblr Pond area, you guys might know Horses at Home Con, an online convention, kind of little jokey online convention. I even did my own ChocoCon
concept.
Yeah, I did my own ChocoCon where I basically did 3 days of live streamings, online stores, panels through these websites that no longer exist anymore. And we already had the concept of jokey cons. You had Friends Con done by Midnight Premiere. You had BronyCon West done by our friend Sheer. So the idea of having these jokey cons and online cons are already a thing. So it made sense within weeks of the pandemic happening. One of my friends, artist named Ruth, she basically created a Discord group to help a lot of displaced dealers, and we basically made a virtual dealers hall on Discord. From there, one of our friends, Catherine, picked up the idea and basically decided, okay, not just the dealer's hall, let's also have these live stream panels and events. And we got Ponyville.
Yeah,
Ponyfest.
Half is heavily involved, but also Dex.
Dex as well, our friend Dex.
Dex is kind of the one who coordinated everything from the beginning. Like, who knows Ponyfest?
Yes.
Watch the live streams done Ponyfest? Yeah, so that whole thing came together for the very first time in 1 week. I'm not even kidding. It was literally, everything was just shutting down. And I think I got a DM from Dex saying like, hey, do you want to help? We're trying to do like something to, you know, help people stay positive during the event. There's vendors that have now lost a big source of income. So what can we do to kind of keep things afloat during COVID when we can't come and meet in person? So I did events for Ponyfest for like the first 5 events. But that first one came together in a week, and yeah, it's thanks to Dex, it's thanks to Catherine, who basically built from scratch the entire streaming infrastructure. Folks like Larsis, who I think is still in the back. There's just so many incredible people that put a lot of work into making Ponyfest happen, and it was a lot of work, but it seems that it accomplished its mission, which is something I'm very happy about.
Ponyfest set the template for a lot of online cons afterwards. So BabsCon went online, and a lot of these other TrotCon went online.
Generally using the Ponyfest system, like
and
literally
models,
using the software that was developed for Ponyfest.
And so it made sense that the Bronii cons kind of came online first, and then of course quickly our brethren, the furries, followed. And we could see kind of a step-to-step of where everything went, because the PonyCon started to introduce things like Ponytown and Ponyville, right? Ponytown, so it's
Yeah, so Ponytown, that's the one you see there in the bottom with all the little pixelated ponies. It's like
your own custom avatar and interact with the world, and we actually live stream panels. And
yes,
like
which the Ponytown people worked with us to, you know, incorporate those two things together and figure out how do you make a video stream go into this. And it was the very first time we did that, and I went in there, it was mind blowing. I'm like, this is amazing. There were other interesting solutions to the same problem to give it more of a feeling like a space, because that's kind of what was maybe missing originally, is that for an online thing, it's just you sitting on your computer and you feel connected to people, but you don't have the sense of being in a shared space so much. So Ponytown, that integration was a way to address that. Also really interesting, unique solutions was SEA PonyCon, Southeast Asia PonyCon, used Minecraft.
Yeah.
They built a convention center in Minecraft and had all these mods that let them put in custom textures for a vendor hall and import live streams into an actual screen in a theater. Which was very interesting.
Of course, we see the furries, of course, after that had to take the ball, and then the furries basically recreated convention centers within Second Life and VR, and of course, you know, furries, they already wear fursuits, and so of course, moving to online avatars really made sense, but we can kind of see this natural line of Bronii doing online cons and furries basically having to one-up us, and it shows how powerful and how well-run the furry Bronii cons are, because when we think of conventions, we think of the big cons, the comic cons, and the anime cons, and the sci-fi cons, and we rarely think of the furry and the Bronii cons, but once everything had to shift online, you can see how solid, how strong the foundation for Bronii and furry con running was, that they were able to take the ball and not just make online conventions first, but make fantastic, well-run, well-polished online conventions but I think that concludes definitely the history portion of the panel, because we are still here. The pandemic happened, BroniiCon's over, Gen 4 is over, but we are still here. And I think we're going to start off with a little bit, because we have about 20 minutes left, so we're going to talk a little bit about the future, and then we're going to start allowing you guys to line up so you can kind of take questions. But because we're probably running short on time, please no long comments. Just a quick short question, and you guys can start lining up and we'll take questions. And as you do, we're going to just talk about the future, because EVERFREE right now is currently the largest PonyCon in existence. You were con chair for multiple years of EVERFREE coming back after, so you basically had to take the reins of being the con chair for 2 years for what's now the largest PonyCon that's in the shadow of former BroniiCon no longer existing.
Yeah, well, I mean, there were many interesting challenges just coming into that role already, and then COVID on top of things really threw. I mean, I was like very despondent generally, like at the beginning when I realized like this actually might not happen. Like we might have to actually cancel the event for the first time. So that was very stressful, having to deal with that. But the thing is, there was a sort of shared stress too, because it was like, well, everyone is dealing with this. People are getting furloughed. Regular events are closing. You can't go to the grocery store anymore, right? There were all these different things happening, but on that angle, there was a huge uncertainty. Like when we do come back, will the interest still be there? Will not having this stuff for a year be enough to like build the momentum?
Alright. I think this next segment is me. I'm gonna get one-shotted. That's how it's gonna be.
Mr. Gordon, I think purposely gave me Soprano too because he knows I need to work on that.
Oh no, it's the dark.
I ever watched the Internet Historic video of
That's
NASCAR?
alright.
Oh my god.
So.
One ball pit.
Oh no.
Ooh, I have fun. Ooh.
Alright, I
Okay,
think
you
we
need
only
your
have
That's my prime.
2 more minutes.
Oh.
But it also kills you, so like, it's gotta be the right It's gotta be the last stock time. It's very, very effective at asserting dominance. That is true. Gotta say, it's around the I saw that. Also now, light flashing before my eyes. What if you have speed?
I left him on the stand. He's a bit tired. He's been sitting on there. Just adamant. Oh, he doesn't have a voice.
Oh, you got buddy, you got boss. Oh, not quite what I was going for. I'll be the first to admit. Unintentional, but I'll roll with it. Oh, why is it closer? You could have matched it, man. Yeah, exactly. Also, I'm surprised you didn't take Excel instead. I know. That was the wrong time for it anyways, because he had accelerate on the menu. And landing counters a bit. Okay, counter does not work. Got it. That's what I think. Well, now we know. Now we know. Get back. Accelerate. It's so hard to fucking get back when you have accelerate. I freaking love Accelerado. But what if I can just be across the stage and you facing on the bounce? Yep, precisely. How do I keep getting so close with that?
It's trap.
I think you bounce to the same location. That's Matt, by the way. Why is it? Oh, it's because we're on a hazards off, so it's not turning to the better side of the stage. Oh! How far is that reach? Long. 34? Really? Oh my god. Okay, how much time do we got? It's 12-0.
What? It is?
It's 12.
Alrighty.
Let's get ready.
It's 12. Alright. Alright. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm on it as much.
Not at the moment, at least.
Alright. The tournament should be coming in like 1 minute.
You got so many switches, I want to make sure I get them all tagged.
Sounds good.
I found fire and I ran into
Howdy. I can't sing. Really need to smile, smile, smile. Please let me friends and smile. Smile, 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 smile. Come on and smile. Come on and smile.
Woohoo! You in for the tournament as well?
Yep, we're all in it.
Them's fighting nerds, one's my
Ah, I see. So how'd that one go?
Well, me and my partner lost, but I had a good time doing it though.
Fair enough. Hey, that's what I'm expecting out of the ultimate tourney, honestly. I'm like probably like maybe 4th or 5th
Hey, maybe
at the moment in terms of people who are likely to win this.
Hey, maybe they're all just gonna die to DK by RNG.
Don't even get me started.
DK is gonna roll in, literally roll
DK is
in.
gonna
this case.
seal the tournament. He's gonna grab you.
Gonna grab the tournament and walk away with it, literally.
Yeah.
Grab, walk off ledge, throw away. The
Again,
trash.
I outplay that DK for like 3 minutes straight, and he grabs me one time, so it doesn't matter.
It's over.
Mac grabs, walk off stage,
Goes
goodbye.
into the trash.
DK
I would advise
walks
bringing
up,
the hero
grabs
against
Mac,
the,
doesn't
yeah.
elaborate, leaves.
I would advise the
Puts
hero
everyone where they
against the
belong.
DK, just saying.
Nah, I think
For
my hero's
some
even
reason.
worse against that DK
Wait,
because he
how?
does not let me get a word edgewise in that menu.
Hey, you need to press 2 buttons.
No, like, but then again, I really need to start getting a bit more daring with my specials off stage, like neutral B and like up
Not
B,
me
like,
neither,
use
but
my
you
up
gotta
B
learn.
to like deny hit the ledge.
I think Arthur left out one match.
I can tell.
They should be with the switch before. If they're not so much using it. Here you go, sorry about that.
It's a very familiar box there.
Yes.
I've got one on my shelf.
I got the meat to one of this.
Nice.
Is there a Luna of this? I'm ready for
There
it.
is a
Yeah.
Luna. I could pull up a picture of it.
Please.
I have that. I have
Is there an autumn blaze for this?
No.
No,
Dang it.
Please,
Attention.
participants of the Switch tournament, please come to the front.
Get him.
Or Smash tournament, not Switch tournament. I don't know.
It's on Switch. It's close enough.
Yeah, it's close enough. Versus
True.
grenades. Okay, so at the moment, I'm in the process of getting switches brought in, tagged, and deployed. So if everyone wants to take a quick peek, this is the challenge setup.
Oh, are we doing round robin? Or?
No, double M.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and I just want to have everyone scroll through, make sure all your names are correct. If
Yeah.
there's anyone missing, let me
Yeah,
know. I
mine's
can re-add that.
Mine's good.
Anyone with Switch equipment, controllers, cables,
RJ's
docking
Tennessee.
stations, switches, games.
Oh, really? What does that mean, though?
I technically have one, but my dock is up
Why?
in somebody else's room at the moment. It might take a bit.
Oh, really?
depending
How's
on where they
mine?
are.
I have my
Mine is-
Pro Controller, but it's dead.
Okay, so anyone that's got stuff that they want to use for the tournament can be set up and shared along with everyone. Just bring it to me right now.
Yeah, mine's
Or if you need time to get it, let me know.
How long would we have before things start?
Oh, later. Okay.
We're looking probably about 15 to 20, hopefully, if everything's good.
Okay. Okay.
We still have to get the things
Because
deployed.
that means we're gonna fight each other in the final round, right?
That means I have to run to my room, get my
It's gonna be
controller,
between
and
the
then
two
come
rooms
back.
as much as possible, just because of the layout of the room.
Right, so it's like I brought my own personal Switch. It's attached to the LG TV that I also had brought with me.
Same thing.
The projectors.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's got all the.
It's not all the characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's all
we'll be using that if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's the whole reason why I brought it over. So,
I have my Nintendo Switch too, so the whole dock.
Yeah. I have plenty of HDMI.
All right, my friend's running off to see if we can get the dock
Yeah, let me see
available,
if
so
it's
he should be back 10, 15 minutes if you can.
Is that voiceover panel? Like a little bit of masking tape so that I can label my Switch.
No, I have labels.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to go get my Switch. I'll be right back. Oh, God dang it. Do I really have to go get my freaking Switch right now? I have to go get my Switch right now. Disconnect the freaking TV. I mean, I do have an HDMI with it too, so obviously I still have to take it to my room, come downstairs, get my shit, and then go. Alright, so that's what I have to go get my because we have damn it. Hi. Yeah. We got a whole party going on. What is going on?
We're going down.
Going up.
Oh, I'm going down.
It goes both ways. Just one more fun thing back up.
All right, this is us. Pardon me.
Alright.
Heather, by the way, for dinner, do you have any questions?
We have reservations for this.
Please work. 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 Okay.
Bye.
7. LCC.
This is ours, okay.
Oh. Not my fault. Did anyone hear that? Alright, gotta go get my Switch. I mean, I don't even know. I'll just get my Switch controller. Screw it. There you go. Get my Switch controller. It ain't much, but it probably will or will not do the work, so who knows. This is what we're dealing with here, so okay, I got my controller.
And then we'll get started once everybody's hooked
Are you using that personally, or are you?
Yes, I'm using this personally.
Probably don't need it labeled then.
Yeah, it's only if you're planning on letting other people use your equipment.
Yeah.
So.
Oh. So we don't need it?
And for yours?
Or do we?
Copper. And I only got the 3. two joy-cons. Which, you know, technically they're already pretty identifiable. They have the conference. Two. Whatever. It works. You would not believe the number of people that call me cancer online without really looking at it. It's really common. So.
Well, then I should have brought my Switch to holy crap.
It's fine. Unless you have a dock for it.
I do have a dock and the Switch together.
Oh, like at home or at the con?
No, here in my room.
Dang. How long would it take you to go get?
How long did I came back? That's the time it's gonna be. So I'm gonna have to go up the elevator again, go to the 13th floor, go to 1303, get my Switch, come back, go down, go to the second floor, and then come back here. I think that's about 20 to 40 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna be. That's gonna be too long.
Yeah, take this one and put it on one of the available docks or available TVs.
Do you have all the DLC unlocked and all care?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. So it would be a valid Switch.
It is a valid Switch. But it's also a jailbreak Switch, so.
Any of you available TVs over there, and I'm gonna go there and kick everyone off.
One over here and the rest are on the other side.
Okay.
I mean, will it be easier to actually connect my controller to any other Switch?
You can just sync it up. It's pretty quick.
That's all I need to do.
Or if you've got a USB-C, you know.
Yeah, and forgive my ignorance. I don't own a Switch personally myself, so I don't really know how they operate very well.
That's okay.
I'm learning as I
You can
go.
either go back to the controller. You can either go back to the controller menu out in the home screen, or you can just plug it in with USB-C and.
Or you can just do two things at the same time. Press two of these, and then you can easily.
Well,
connect.
if it's already
So,
synced to that
is
Switch.
there any other equipment that needs to get tagged for use?
Yeah, it's like all over there.
I think that's
I think
it.
that's good.
There's one over there, there's like another two over there.
Yeah, I just set Pony Chick over there with the third.
Right.
So, and then we've got.
Are we taking down the projector for the final?
On the third.
Yeah, I'm gonna be kicking everyone off of karaoke.
Yeah.
Oh, you sent me where? Or where?
yes.
Or to the third of what?
I'm sorry, say again?
You sent me? Where?
I can't quit.
Did you wait? You said you sent me. Where did you send me to?
I didn't send it anywhere. I was talking to him about what the switches and all that. Sorry.
Oh yeah. I was gonna get my Switch because I mean for some reason I was thinking if I was gonna use my controller since everyone has their Switches here.
Okay.
Mine's connected to my TV, so I couldn't do anything.
You just hear me, sir?
Oh my god, Steve is
It seems like I have a little posse. I'm a computer.
I want to keep that over here until we're ready with this. So.
Yeah, I will need
Okay.
it. That's like maybe
All Smash tournament participants, can I have your attention, please?
Smash players.
I'm actually in charge of the arcade over at NASCAR.
All Smash players, can I have your attention, please?
that includes you, Ricky.
Yeah. Tagging of the equipment has finished. I have to go get one dock here in just a moment. I should be back in a couple of minutes. We are going to go with pretty much the standard rule set of best of three stock, 7 minutes. No limit on your characters. Loser gets the pick of the stage and counter pick, if I understand the rules correctly. Because I'm still.
Losers bracket, not like so.
Huh?
Round one is just free time.
Round one's free pick and then losers bracket. So, items off, stage hazards off, spirits off, smash meter off. Can anyone think of anything I'm forgetting?
How many bands?
Explain bands to me real quick.
Stage bands.
The winner of the previous round typically gets a couple of stage bands, and then loser picks from the remaining.
Okay.
Will there be any items?
Huh?
No, he said no items.
Good. No items. Love it.
What are the legal stages?
I don't know, he's discussing the rules and stuff.
I actually had the things pulled up for that.
Yeah, are there gonna be like papers telling us what the rules are? Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Battlefield's the only one
there
that's
we
not
go.
received anywhere else.
So I'll be going off of the universal starter list for Battlefield, Final Destination, Pokemon Stadium, Small Battlefield, and Smashfield. Huh?
Stadium or Stadium 2?
Stadium 2, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's no PS1. Oh my god.
And then counter picks are the Yoshi Story, Lion Cruise, Kalos Pokemon League, Town and City, Northern Cave, and Hollow Bastion.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I like Lilac. Dang. Alright.
I just want to make sure these are what I'm going off just the basics right here. We'll make adjustments as needed. Does that sound
Yeah,
okay with everybody?
Yeah, that sounds I think that's viable, right? Lila's gonna be interesting. At least you didn't say WarioWare.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. I was about to do that. So I want to thank everyone here for coming and participating. I'm hopefully going to be a good host here.
I have faith in you.
We've got the challenge, so if everyone could just do one final check, make sure your names are spelled correctly and that you're on the list here. Feel free to use the mouse to scroll in and out.
Alright, let's go to the very top.
I see myself.
Challenge.
Everyone seen that?
I thought it would be
Everyone
start
see the name?
Yeah.
Yep,
I got mine.
Karen Pony's here.
I should be the last person there.
My favorite Pokemon is Drago. My favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character is El Drago.
My favorite Pokemon character is Bugs Bunny.
That guy is a wacky dude. I remember having to rival him like 7 times. He broke my game, that guy. He never let me win.
There's too many Pokemon.
I already saw mine on the list.
That's a really pretty one.
My favorite one is Tigrera.
Nice.
I think Suicune is really pretty. Does that one count? No. But by really pretty, a very pretty dog.
Anyone here watch Bakugan as a child? Used to, but forgot completely about it.
I've seen half of one episode where they stop time, and I'm like, what are the Bakugan doing?
I only saw one episode, but then completely forgot it.
That's like one of the main things. Like whenever they activate the game, time freezes.
Oh no, it was like it wasn't supposed to happen. Time stop. Like everyone was confused. And I'm like, what is Bakugan doing?
Oh, I think I know which episode you're talking about. Was it with the orange-headed girl?
I have no idea. It was like half of one episode I saw on the television at my cousin's, and I was like, this show is wild.
Exactly which episode you're talking about.
This show is wild.
I am a nerd, apparently.
I kind of wish I'd got into Bakugan, but I'm
Finally, you went to the nerd style. Screw the
Just
nerd
watched
style.
the first season, 50 episodes of pure coolness. Then it gets kind of, then
they're like, oh, we need to pad out the show now. Is that what happens?
Basically, it has a really good ending in my opinion at season 1. But then they realize, oh, this is some money in America. Make some more seasons.
Lots of people are rolling the Bakugan.
I mean, they actually did end the season, kind of.
What?
That was the IDW comic. It's got Marina on there.
Yeah, they're selling it at the I always want to call it the trading post. The
con store.
The con store.
Their con store.
I don't know if I have anything left. My friend gave me this yesterday.
That'll probably do it. You can buy 10 of these.
Oh boy.
They're $1.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Or but just it's not like a $10 off. It's a $10 item.
Right. Okay. That makes less sense than I thought it would, but okay.
Oh, I think using that voucher would be a good idea.
I will be back in just a couple of moments. I'm going to get the extra dock, and we'll get started here shortly.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
We're going to check the switches and get them prepped for those that have lended to us. They should all be set up now, so if you want to just go check the preliminary setup done. There's multiples over there. We'll got one more. We'll go.
Oh, I should go get.
Good luck.
There's a loose switch somewhere.
2 versus 2. It's gotta be like a 2 versus 2. Are we doing 2 versus 2 or are we doing
No,
like
1v1.
Oh, 1v1s. Okay.
Yeah. That's the standard way to handle it.
Got it.
Yeah, I think this is a good tactic. It's really good to work with the matching arm thing. Yeah. I'm doing a little Smash vlog. Are you running the Smash tournament? Okay, that's good. Would you like to introduce yourself? Okay. Is that your main?
One of my main. It's the one I have fun with the most.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I chose Kirby even though he's like one of the worst characters in the game. I choose him because he's just fun. I use his moves a little bit, and
Such an easy character to use.
Yeah,
very easy.
For me, the easiest ones are all the swordies. Like I can understand them real well.
Yeah, I think it's called distancing or something. It just really helps you reach and not get hit, and it also feels kind of fun.
I mean, Kirby can be like my favorite one, but then, what's his name? The bear? Forgot his name.
Bear?
The bear and the bird. Forgot.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, Banjo-Kazooie. I would like to
you're
use
right.
him.
Yeah, he is a bear, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about that. I don't know why. I don't.
I
think
like
it was a
using
bear.
him.
I always thought of him as a capybara for some reason.
Yeah, that's fair. Like like a giant capybara or something.
Yeah.
Coconut doggy or something.
Yeah.
Can I see your badge with the name tag? Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Dimension Tripper. That's cool. I saw your name on the Smash tournament list or whatever application thing. Are you partaking in the Smash tournament?
Yep.
That's cool. Kieran Pony? That's what you call?
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you main?
I main Banjo and Kazooie.
Oh yeah. I think I remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
DJ's played a little bit of.
Unfortunate for me, I am more used to doing multiple people in a battle, like a battle royale type of one.
Yeah.
Than one-on-one. So
Yeah, like an FFA. That's what they call it, free for all.
Yeah,
just
free-for-all.
a free-for-all.
I mean, doing 1v1s, I don't think that's gonna be an easier way.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just good at being able to stay out of battles and then getting the kills.
Or at least try to stay out of everyone, the so-called hardcore player, out of the way, and then try to hit him with a hard hit.
I'm doing a little vlog for the Smash tournament before it starts. Do you want to introduce yourself? I already know your name, but this is for the vlog memories and stuff.
I'm RJW, but my real name is Ryan.
Yeah?
I play Smash Bros. And I really like the game.
Me too. I mean, don't we all? That's why we're here, but we also generate. That's what the point I made earlier. We're all brownies. We're not supposed to be mentally stable and stuff like that. That's like
I am
an
here
average.
to kill other people with the turtles.
Kill people? Yeah, I'm gonna kill people too. We like to indulge in a bit of murdering, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
true.
It's not fun unless there's murder.
I know. Yeah, makes things more interesting.
I just like to go for whatever I get, whatever I like to get, just whatever works, you know.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
if either one of my characters won't do anything, might as well choose another one.
Someone who will at least carry you. Is that what you're saying?
No, not someone who wants to carry me. I just want something to be more easier to use, like Sora, for example.
Yeah. Easier to use characters. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I got into Kirby. He's an easier to use character, I guess, kind of beginner. But he's a little hard to get to. Are you also vlogging or something?
I'm live streaming.
Oh, it's cool. It's like a vlogception in a sense, huh?
Alrighty.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We just do like a circle of cameras that have like the.
Yeah, vlogging.
Yeah, vlogging a vlog, but I'm literally live streaming. I mean,
have like the infinite loop.
Oh my god, yeah, like the screens like over here or something. Yeah, that would be funny. Do you mind showing us your tag?
I mean, this is the last moment of Washington, so gotta make it count.
It's just a day pass, so I
That's cool. Have I introduced you?
I don't believe you have.
Okay, are you partaking in the Smash tournament?
I am participating in the Smash tournament. I'm probably not going to win, but if I don't get matched against some of the better players here, I'll probably make it.
Yeah. Okay.
My guess for me is second round, and then I will be knocked out in the losers bracket.
Oh my god, dude, I'm scared. This is double elimination, so if you lose once, you're gonna have another chance to fight again, but that's gonna be like the losers bracket or whatever. whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're fighting against the other people who've lost one round, and then the moment somebody loses the second round, they're out.
Oh yeah.
I can definitely say that's definitely me. That's definitely me.
Oh, it's gonna be everyone except the one guy who makes it to grands without losing a game. Because there's always one guy in the tournament.
Yeah, like the underdog. I think that's the point of this losers thing with double elimination and whatnot.
Well, it's also so that if you just throw around and, like, I don't know, have a seizure in the middle of a game, you don't just immediately drop out of the tourney.
Yeah, you get like another chance.
Yeah,
or
it's best of 3 and it's losers bracket, so it's kind of a more proper
You know, being a part of the losers bracket, I think that's the one to where you can just pick any type of character or map or something. I'm sure.
Okay.
No, it's the same rules. Rules don't change.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good. Good to know, because I still
Like,
don't know.
technically, you can gentlemen's to basically whatever the hell you want, but I don't know if that's going to be a thing here because we're running with we're running with full tourney rules, and the people running the thing, I don't know if they're really open to the idea of gentlemaning to, like, I don't know, N64 or something.
Gentlemaning. Oh, what's gentlemen?
2 people agreeing to do something that is completely against tournament rules because it's fun.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that makes sense.
like if a couple people beating them up over the course of a weekend and before
Who's been beating up?
nobody that I will name.
You know that thing.
Don't out me, bro.
Or will he?
Tournaments they've had at a convention is a tag team battle they had here. They got second place.
Okay. No, be scared of them. Sorry, I didn't catch that. You just say you're straight to the Smash tournament? Yeah. Okay. Who do you make?
That's gonna be me. So.
Yeah, that's cool. That's kind of
that's what. No, the fact that they do that. Yeah.
Do you mind if I look at the tag, like, put it on the camera?
I want to use.
Honestly, if MK Leo just showed up and trounced all of us, that'd be really funny.
I think I should use Luigi
I know,
then.
but it'd be really
alright.
I probably got
Just like I want to beat up the Bronii.
Yeah.
I want to beat up a
Yeah,
I want to
kind of
beat up the
disconnected, but I'm glad to be back.
Nice.
Zero shows up. I could see him.
Wow.
I'd rather hear Zero not show
Throws and just like throws them or something with his like that would be weird.
Ah, my banjo and yeah, banjo, my name.
That's your mate?
Yeah.
Banjo Bloomy.
Wonderful. Now I found a buddy who likes banjo and kazooie.
Here, this is where the
Or
Smash.
do you like banjo and kazooie as a main?
Huh?
Which one is your main?
I mean, I consider Rosalind my main, but people who play me, especially online, they think Banjo's my main, so I'm like, whatever works, you know?
Okay, so I think banjo and kazooie is definitely your main.
Like, online, Banjo, like, I don't use Banjo as much as Rosalind
He
online,
also
but Banjo
plays
just
Game
does
Brawler.
better.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, that I like to do, but I like to throw a lot of missiles. I mean, a lot of I like to fart out a lot of eggs.
It's still good, but it's
I think
not.
that's like a down B or like side B, huh?
Side B is one thing. If you need eggs or neutral B, and then the grenade is down. So all of my friends
True.
Command grab and you take money.
I will still learn the frames. Mine is Kieran Pony.
You were at Bathhouse, I think. Unless this is backyard. Unless this is the wrong tournament.
Yes. No, that is the right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Barnyard Rumble. I was looking for the Smash one. Cause I know,
Yeah.
Ricky recognized your name. Cause at
Dimension Trooper is also part of it too.
Yeah,
That's him.
Okay.
So me, I'm Kieran Pony.
Because I was at the Smash tournament that I tied 7 with someone else.
Yeah. I just got one shot.
Like this is an actual bad.
Like even the weak charge shot.
Yeah.
Like I said, I came in 7th. Let's see. I know Salacion won. That's me.
Yeah, I see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, I am completely probably 17.
But I see a lot of both.
Like, did you play in the Smash tournament?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes, I did.
So, this should be everyone. It's weird. Your name's Kieran Pony?
Yep, Kieran Pony.
Huh, weird. Unless, like, it doesn't go beyond that. Yeah, I was the only one that connected an account, so, like, that's me.
Yeah. Well, the other one, well, never mind.
Unless
I guess
you were at, like, the 2019.
Barnyard.
Okay.
No, Barnyard. I think that was Barnyard's fighting herds. I was a part of that.
I know you might have been, let's see.
And lost. So, but the weird thing about it is that they actually used like some kind of other name because of the what was it? Because they actually had different names onto their. I don't know how they actually did it, but the thing is, they actually used like some kind of like other name to like put someone in. I don't know. I guess that's how it is.
Have you by chance played in a Babstrom in like other years, maybe 2019?
No.
Okay.
I only did it for 2022. That was like April. I mean, I guess I actually must have joined Barnyard and didn't go to Smash. I wanted to go to Smash because it was like
something else.
yeah. No, because Barnyard was a nutcase. Literally a nutcase because I literally got one shot because I was learning how to make like trying to do like these different characters. I was trying to use like Orlando a lot because I wanted to use her for my very first main. So, but since so-called Stormtrooper actually wanted me to get what is it? He wanted me to use Paprika for the very first main. So as of today, I started. I mean, not today, like yesterday. Yesterday, I wanted to start out to be as Paprika, but I wanted to use Orlando. Orlando, I didn't know what the moves were, but Paprika was actually pretty good.
Who did it? Who sucked?
That wasn't me. You can't blame me.
Who won, matches, win-loss, all that. And what station, I'll try to keep track as best I can. Please be patient with me. And I'm going to go do the randomization, get the seeds done. And we'll go from there. And I think that's everything. I think we're all clear on the rules, stages, all that.
Do we need to get control from the thing, or do we just, or what's going on?
I have my own controller.
Yeah, a lot of us brought our own controllers.
Yeah, if you have your own, if you need one, we'll just take the badge and you can grab whoever's got one that's available for you.
You should tell me if I could bring my GameCube controller because I have one.
I think this is going to be a very fun event.
Yeah, let's go!
No. I was just saying a long time ago.
Yeah.
If you wanted to join this, we'll definitely do it with the GameCube controller and this one.
Smash tournaments over there.
What, the Babcon stuff?
Yeah, the stream layouts. I've seen the some highlights from that end up on actual Smash compilation channels, and it's really funny. Yeah, I remember.
You gotta link me to that because I
It was on
did not know
Smash.
What?
I did not know that either.
Really?
Yeah.
You have to show me this, man.
Everyone in the comments was like, "Oh my god, why is the Pony tournament so well designed?"
It is.
Yeah,
We are the
everyone loved
Mom!
it. Look, everyone loved it. Yeah, it was great.
I really enjoyed it because that's
better
why.
graphics than SmashCon.
Yeah. Well, no, don't credit to the SmashCon team.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
Joke. But still, yeah. No, do not mess with the graphics design capability of Force fans.
Yeah, no, we go off.
We are in every corner of the globe, every job,
in every
software. We have infiltrated everything. We have at least one in every job.
library
I
to
know.
find it.
I know.
That sounds new.
What channel is it on?
Okay. Yeah, that's literally what it's called.
Wherever you find young to middle-aged men who are nerds, you will find horse fans.
Sorry, my dude. So
Yeah,
sorry.
where is? Thank you very much. Okay, stop doing that.
Alright, let's see the scene.
I trust choose Kirby, why not Kirby?
Oh, stop.
To be fair. That match. Yeah, and on the third match, yeah, he only took like 60%. Yeah.
Okay, this is how I'm gonna be playing Smash. I'm just gonna go like
Dance pad
Yeah.
smash.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Make the double dance pad.
that'd be really cool for movement.
Yeah, just like one foot is just like.
Yeah. Oh, look at you. You already start the game.
If everyone picks Steve, it'll be the easiest tournament I've ever won. And then he goes to the tournament and proceeds to
I got her for like it.
I would like to see what.
This gets us good stuff.
Yeah, I want to yeah, like I said, I don't think I player is as good as Smith. So,
Wonderful. So you guys started already. Oh, you know what?
We'll be starting once the brackets made.
I should have brought my arcade stick, dang it.
I'm dodging. If yours out, I'll just pull out everything. Yeah. You failed.
Yeah.
Is the tournament still going?
It's starting.
It's about to start.
It has begun.
Have you signed up?
No, I haven't. Can I still do it?
Go talk to the guys at the desk right now, maybe.
I think it started. Wait, what time is it? It's supposed to be around 10 o'clock to 11:45. I think it passed the sign up. Yeah.
Starting right now.
Yeah, they're starting right now. Yeah. It's already.
That's fine.
Over there.
Because I feel like if I personally use everybody, if I have, I'm gonna get their tags and invite them to like the Smash Discord. Yeah.
I'm in round 2. I have a bad feeling because that's when I said I was gonna be getting out.
Wait, are the brackets ready now?
It looks like it. It looks ready.
We don't know where that piece is. They've vanished.
On station 1, the main projector. Cooper and Lance. Copper. I know you said it earlier.
I mean, Cooper's a Pokemon, so sure.
And Lance.
I am not doing no first round. No. Don't.
I believe it is that one or the one right there.
That one? Because that would be convenient. My controller's already connected.
Yeah, so I think that's right there, station 2. Babscon, Petty Rick, and Lots. And Lots, L-O-T-N-S.
You're just going to get it a little bit chaotic, just so you know ahead of time.
Okay, thank you.
Sound off, Lots.
Look at me. I'm not joining first. Oh my god. They're gonna make me join first. This is insane. I'm not. I hope I don't join first. I hope they don't call my name, because if they call my name and I join first, I'm gonna literally get one-shotted. Yeah, I'm not doing this.
So way back there? Yes, right next to the projector. Lily Fluff and RJW.
That would be convenient because this is my set.
They're not. I hope they're not calling me. No.
Dragon Star and Commissar Derby. Commissar Derby? We should. Dragon Stoner. You're going to be on that station over there next to the door. You got room. If not, we can find another spot.
I have a very strange feeling that I'm going to get one-shotted and I'm going to lose this match.
I looked at the bracket and I think it put us together. I just haven't gotten to it.
Okay. I hope not. Well, wait. Are we fighting against each other?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to lose.
Yeah, you never know. I've only played against the Babscon people, Rick and someone else. I don't know anyone else here. I only played against you yet.
I'm from Babscon. You're looking at one that came from Babscon. You came from Babscon.
I came from Babscon.
Oh, you came from Babscon. Okay. Sounds good.
I have a name that I'm not sure how to pronounce it properly. And DJ.
Oh, why does this have to be like this? Why does it have to be like this?
What's up, Oriana?
Which one? We're going to go to the station over there, station 8. It's on the other side of the partition wall. By the other.
You're not going to tell me first. I played a guy there. I played Ollie
Rock
first.
band setup. Dude Moth and Kieran Pony.
Okay. They are.
Okay, yep, you'll be on stage 3 right here. Let us know if you
All right,
need
here we go.
a spare chairs.
Yeah, if we were doing casuals, I'd probably pick something else.
Move this. Cool.
Good afternoon.
Too late to go back up. She wasn't in the room when I was last there.
Excuse me. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, we need.
Yeah, we need controller. Oh, we need.
I got it's for Bronii.
Excuse us. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Yeah, and I already donated mine.
Excuse me. Sit down. Okay.
You know. Yeah, I know.
Excuse me. Alright. Excuse me. Oh, he's sitting over there.
Can we pause this one real quick? We need to grab that GameCube controller port, multi-tap.
Okay, got it.
So.
We just finished round one.
Okay, let's pause for just a second.
Okay.
That was an oversight on my part.
Neither of us are using it. We got one that's not being used. Anyone else switch controllers over there?
If that one's not labeled, it probably belongs to DJ.
This thing highlighted? One?
It's probably
without this sort of pattern.
this one, that one. Oh gosh.
HDMI 1.
I took HDMI 1 for 50 cents.
HDMI 2.
It was on HDMI 2 when I got here.
HDMI 3.
No, this is it's the CD.
It's all good.
HDMI. Very under
I got all the NPCs.
Just a case of beer, Thursday.
Alright, thank you.
DJ.
Just in case if I'm thirsty. As of right now, I'm thirsty.
Okay, so let's go to Zoom. This is
Let's go, Lance!
Can you like go to controllers or something? I don't have to get there. Okay.
It's yours.
Oh, I know.
You're doing better than well, I don't know. You're doing better than a lot of people. Again, it just depends how long you play. I've been playing pretty. I haven't actually been playing tournaments, but I've been playing.
Like, I was really good for a month. And then I started like all that.
Yeah, not those. Change the order.
Oh, I'm not dead. I don't.
Yeah.
It did not sync, so I'm gonna try this.
You're doing that
Wireless. I'm doing my wireless.
Okay, I'd be totally up for something because
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, we didn't want to tell you at the beginning because that would
No, I can tell right away that
Ours was not the right option. And I'm like, okay, let me go here. Let me actually go.
Good choice.
Yeah, that's
You want to go FD or Spell Battlefield or Smash Mill or what? Let's go right here. Okay.
Second game I would hear like that went a bit better.
That's not my, this isn't my setup. Can you not enter your name on there? Right? Okay, they're actually out of, it seems like they're out of name spots. So, I guess just do player or whatever.
Player, no name? You're gonna put big I don't understand. I mean,
do you want to change it? Do you need special controls like no tap or anything?
I need to make a better control. If any one of these controls does not work out,
let's like make some things.
Arrangement, please.
Right?
I need arrangement.
Well, again, I travel
How about let's just delete these on the bottom. I'll do mine first.
Since it's 3:30, is that like the middle, I think?
Where's the tap
Yeah. It's so cool. All I did was I had a VR chat and I just converted that into a model.
You know when you're in there, you can just search when you're playing.
Soon, I guess. Let me see.
I do apologize.
You and I next? So you want? Okay. You recording? Yeah.
I haven't played you yet. I have no idea.
Who's your man again? No, he's using my curve. I have my brother actually. He knows me inside and out, so he kind of just, kills me. No, that is right.
What else do you think was going to happen?
Is that a bit too much? Well, I say yes because like last year I went. Oh yeah, like the mall or something? No, it was at PAX West. Yeah, PAX West. This is back in.
Alright.
Okay, now we can see.
And they had pre-release builds. I did that.
Okay, so 7 minutes. Let's check. So that's tied.
Unfortunately, it was all free for all.
Like where was
PAX West. Pre-release. Better, but
Think of all the comedy.
yeah. Well, this is pre-release.
I have to do that. Unless you have your own choice of music.
My favorite part is when of the online
Right, this is that
Yes, I know. Yeah, I saw that all over Twitter that day.
Oh my god.
Do you remember? This is a bit more recent.
Caleb,
He's about to break the slip.
do you have your camera set up?
Oh, I have my stream.
Yes! Uh-oh! Back to the lab again. Oh, no! Back to the lab again. Gimmer started trending that day. It was insane.
Hey, Gimmer deserves to trend every day.
He does. The Gims always wins.
Gims always win.
Yeah.
My favorite clip is when some guy just like 10-year-old Lucas kid twice at home. Smash the war dude. Oh my god.
No. Oh, I have to save myself.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
It's so fun. It's just a joke.
I feel like there's a bit of picture delay, but I'm not sure.
This was when there was a big Smash Bros. And guess who I run into while just walking around?
Oh, Spicy was
Nairo, Zero, and
I think my point
I was absolutely all of mine.
and they're in the bag. So like,
yeah. Made me think about it.
or maybe not. See, someone figured out a focus on this.
Oh,
Is there anyone waiting?
oh no.
Yeah.
Dark Lady Sailor, Sam Sora.
Are you about to play DJ?
Mars.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Happy D and CEO. Those are the ones who won the pandemic. Yeah, I was saying that. The people talking in the crowd because I sit right next to the camera so that those daily yeah, I called Dark Lady.
Okay, got it.
Dark Lady was so hard. It was BS. You mentioned
What?
So, will you need the GameCube adapter? Yes, I will. Okay, so we'll wait on yours until the next one comes available and switch out.
No!
Oh, it is? Okay, yeah. So,
happening? So, I lost this one
Yeah, just one, but it's best of 3. You can change. I cannot change characters. You can change characters, and you can pick the stage.
Okay. I'm not sure that's feeling fits. Battlefield, Small Battlefield, Final Destination, Smashville, Pokemon Stadium 2. Okay. Yeah. Actually, depending on the.
What about the boxing ring?
I don't think it's a walk-off stage. I don't think it is.
Oh.
If you want to go boxing ring, just do a Battlefield.
Yeah, we can do that. You can do Battlefield boxing ring or Final or Omega Form boxing. So either this one or that one, where it's like Final Destination, or yeah.
Actually, you know what?
want to do final.
You can do that for any stage
Yeah.
of the game. It's great.
Yeah, like there's the visuals and the music.
Mm-hmm.
You want a battlefield?
Or if you're screaming, you go to Hannonville Battlefield and green screen it.
Yeah, right.
Or
I
is
love
it?
doing that.
So do you want battlefield or like
What's
no
the finals?
No, it's up
Oh,
there.
finals.
Yeah. You can go there.
Alright. I literally lost that one. Oh, damn you. Alright, fine. I'm gonna do.
Do you by chance have Twitter?
Yes.
Is it the same handle as that?
No, it's Swagg Bronii.
Okay.
I have a YouTube too, so it's the same thing as my YouTube.
Oh, they're in the middle.
Oh, I see. Okay. Can you get back? Oh no.
No, not like this.
Is there anyone named Ezra in here? I've been playing a lot of PlayStation recently, so.
I'm just joking. It's close to really. Like, I think 20.
Die!
Yeah, it's kind of cool. That's the reason my run did. So I'm really happy to see that.
So.
That's 2-0, like yeah, we just fixed it.
You won?
So what did you say your Twitter was? Like Swagg Bronii? That?
No. Swagg Bronii.
Thank you all for your patience and support.
That?
I appreciate it. Clockwork, catch it, Clockwork?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait, no, that's fine. Oh, so like your at is
Yakashai?
Chrono 93.
Okay, so that one?
Oh, right, yeah, you're still using my controllers, and I have weird controllers. Yeah. Y'all for gore. I got it. Just we were on call back. Okay, yeah. Make sure, because I have not touched anything. You're not.
trying to grab all the names.
No. It's double elimination. You're gonna play one more set against someone. And if you win that, you keep it.
Oh.
Yeah, it only eliminates
You've got to make a really good losers right now.
Yeah.
So that means as of right now that we have to fight against someone else?
Yeah. I'm gonna see it in match.
No, not like this.
It doesn't make sense yet, but like you can play at least one more set because it's double elimination. You want to practice or anything? Because they haven't put me against anyone yet.
Who?
Oh, and do you want to? It hasn't matched me against anyone yet, so
Yeah.
if you want, I can practice if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I respect it. I respect it. Oh! Second is you exploded. Oh my god. I was going for the tiny action man. And then you just got grabbed and exploded. My goodness.
Oh, and I'm going for that and get matter up.
I have one of those things.
One more try, though. You're probably going to get one. I know I'm bad at this game. Mario,
There's a star on stage one.
No, is it not me? I don't know why it's on Big Battle.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
I don't think this one should count personally.
Yeah, no, we're different. This is like friendly.
Okay, warm up.
Yeah, because like we already finished our set, and we haven't been matched yet.
Why I hate Smash, though. So you said
So something you can try when you get launched, you can hold the stick back like in the opposite direction you're being launched, so that you'll survive for longer.
I've tried.
Like you know what DI
Sorry
is?
versus Star.
The what?
DI, do you know what DI is?
No.
Okay, so basically you hold the stick in the opposite direction you get launched. Like if you get launched to the left, like hold it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. It actually works.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know anything about this game.
Okay.
Sharp focus. Sharp. You have a guide. Oh, I see why the menus messed up. They're using the F1 out of here.
Yeah, I do that because
You do want to practice on like one of the things where they play, maybe.
Making sure I'm trying to keep all the things straight. Here, Bronii and Lance on PlayStation over here.
What the heck am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing.
It's a friendly. It's in a match on a tournament. So it's
Yeah.
practice. Do you want to play like more benches?
Fine.
Just thinking like an actual stage, like a legal stage.
True.
So you could probably go like just this one. If you still want to go there.
Yo, can he just walk up slowly and KO punch?
Let's keep the volume really good though. I need You're in Tony?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the middle. Are you in the middle?
Okay, so are you do you have a match? Huh? Did he call your name?
Yeah, you have a match.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is practice. This is friendly.
Okay.
So get ready.
Yeah, they're ready.
Wait, so what's going on?
Right here.
Right here. Here's your opponent.
Yeah.
Oh, her? Okay.
Yeah,
He's up here.
Go to the, yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
I don't believe I can count it. Well, it's, no, you can't.
I'm too, no,
I tried to like, what happened was he was like, if I like this and my shoulder like, and then you could
He saw through my bluff. Oh, I was just about to get over and see how you guys are
Finally got back.
Hey, I think I need to put this to
Okay, I'll take it.
Just doing myself in the regular state.
Okay, you should be good.
Alright, thank you. Alright, I think I have to connect my controller to yours. Yours? Ah, I'm gonna lose this game again. Please.
I got my butt kicked earlier.
Ah, so did I.
Hi, Layla. Great. I got my butt kicked in round 1, but I have a round 2. Yeah, your mom told me.
You have to go press the home.
I think I figured out he's got a bigger hip.
Norman Pro? Norman Pro on station like that. I know for sure. Okay, I signed 25 here.
What type of controller do you have?
I just use the default.
Default? Okay. Probably gonna need this my keybinds around. Has it my keybinds?
What?
Can I enter my name?
I forgot your. I mean, yeah, I think you can.
Yeah. And then somewhere right here.
I would just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's so
No! That's so mean. That's so mean.
Alright,
I won't express anything when I take this.
Basically,
Yeah.
with like,
Are you excited?
Right now, it looks like I'm about to get it done.
Oh, that would be me. Oh.
I'm missing an event.
As like I've learned today, Bronii is a crazy boy.
I would laugh so hard.
No, see, I'm a very silly man. I haven't played in like a year and a half, and I named Captain Falcon. What am I thinking? I'm like setting myself up.
Wait, don't have to change your name for all your own.
Keep it that set short. Every other switch up. I was a Zerasu Samus main.
Oh my god, where is I
Oh,
going?
Nelly. Oh, dear.
Feels like the spiritual.
That's already one down.
No. Happening.
Let's keep drinks capped, please. And away from the electronics. Mask on as well.
Cool. How are you doing?
Sorry for my No, I had it. Oh, I got this one. Oh, I didn't think that. Yeah, I was scared to get Christina, like, he was getting too scared and too jump, and, like, the only time I got to see him was yeah. Oh, scary. Oh, is he? No! I hope I get to be able Still though,
I think we do.
Alright, we had to do 3 out of best of 3, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those tables look very confused.
No, I just have a couple extras.
Do you want there?
I'm waiting for it to that. This is the only switch that doesn't have it. I mean, he's in the other room.
What was that?
All right. Yeah, play business watching this now.
Yeah, like I say.
Okay, no drinks by the devices, please.
There we go. I had to get one. I had to get one.
I don't get it.
Yeah, this one, you want me to take my
Thank you very much.
I'm not doing anything. Weird.
Right now.
Are there any scores to report?
I'll let you control that. Okay. I do, yeah, 360 chances are up. I'm not gonna be a stickler about it. I'm not sure what's now. Any state with the loss?
Got it. Commissar Grumpy, Clockwork, are you ready?
Robin, where are you?
Congratulations. Just to let you know, I still suck at this game. I tried to play the game against everybody in this whole world. I'm still suck. 100%. This is great. Alright, me disconnect my computer.
No!
How do I know?
You gotta like press. Well, I think we just gotta go back to the guy.
They're moral support.
The main loser of the Smash game is here. Me.
Who won?
I won.
2-1? Or 2-0 or 2-1? How many games did you win? 2. How many did you lose? How many did you win?
How many did I lose?
How many did you win?
2.
How many did you win though?
How many did I win?
I'm pretty damn good. Usually they use those numbers to determine the seed for like next time. We get recording it. I'm gonna go and
Alright, so can I
Like I stand corrected, everyone. I still get one-shotted. Agreed.
Babcon is like
Hold up, let me try to disconnect my computer.
we're really feeling it out here.
What? Yeah, I have a friend who does that. Every time
Alright. I actually lost 2 rounds today, so this is good news. Actually, sorry, my bad ears.
Because this happens because I've been raised with a lot of like
I think they're just moving around all over the place. I get it.
Yeah, so we're a little bit on the number of
you know, as you age, but still
So I lost. So literally got one-shotted at 2 games.
I don't know. There's not enough. I did a little bit of training. It's said to be genetic, so if you don't get Tourette's and your body has
45!
if you haven't heard someone who's really been had before, although in my family, no one has had it.
Some of the dopamine things, like acid just blocks your dopamine receptors from removing dopamine. Keeps firing dopamine on the side.
I want to know too.
inadvertently cure the duration.
I think someone has to lose the now and they're gonna play.
Yeah, I played this back to the side with it.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm trying to figure out how to get that to it.
So wherever bracket 12 is, right there somewhere on winners. Okay. Well, that's weird.
Oh, Ben and RGW are still going, I think. Ben, RJW, is your match still going?
Oh no, he said
Ben, RJW?
RGW right there.
Where's the loser bracket?
You're looking at him.
So RGW and Ben?
Wait.
Where's Ben?
You lost?
I lost twice so far.
Oh, I lost twice.
Ben!
This is a bad start.
Ben, 5, 4.
Like, look at the other room.
I don't think there's anyone over in the other room.
No!
There's Ben that's participating in the Smash tournament.
I lost in that last match. Okay, let's see if I can.
Okay, Ben, 3, 2, 1.
Ben drowned.
Ben drowned.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out a water visual novel or something.
Yeah, that's what I did against this because I was like, oh, I'm not playing regain.
I guess love it.
I'm going on. Are they open? I don't think they're open right now. There's the coffee shop on the main floor. Okay.
I'll be right back, guys.
What's going on the main stage right now?
Hmm?